Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Randy Lee. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your phone calls, taking your comments, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. Randy, good to see you. Beautiful day outside. How's everything going with you?
Going great. Weather is making my spirits jump up slightly. I know it does for you.
Oh, yeah.
The cold weather.
This week, the end of this week's really going to be nice.
For those of you that haven't heard us over the last 15 years with programming, Andy Graham does not like cold weather.
Not really.
At all. Can't shake it off. And warm
Used
weather.
to like it.
You did
Don't
used
like
to.
it anymore.
Doesn't like it anymore. Likes
Getting
to get
old.
outside, get your suntan on.
That's
I can
right.
tell when you do.
That's
when
right.
I come into the program, I can look over at Andy and say, had a pretty good weekend, didn't you?
That's
yeah,
right.
got you a little vitamin D.
Yeah.
Happy to be out there. So I think we got a lot going on. Moving into playoffs in high school sports here in the state of Alabama, and we'll be covering a lot of those. Starting up in the next couple of weeks with the HSA Radio Network. Recruiting's really hitting hot and heavy right now for everyone. Transfer portal and the deadline of having players on campus with availability of playing next year really soon, isn't it? Am I right in saying that is May 1?
Is that right? I don't know. That
Please
news
help
to me.
I apologize for not having that exactly, but I think that there is a deadline there, and it may be May 1, maybe June 1, but I think it's May 1, that if you aren't signed, sealed, and delivered at that point in time, you're not part of the crew for next year. And, my gosh, you know what kind of turnaround Auburn's got to pull off right now with what's our scholarship numbers on this squad?
I don't know exactly, but we were trying to figure that out. It fluctuates because, there's some leeway there.
Are we
with
down
the
about
COVID.
15?
Probably
Does my numbers do me service in saying we're 15 less scholarship athletes on this squad than we would like, based off of who
considering
is?
21 left.
Yes, and how
4
many-
came in.
Well, I can do that.
And
math.
plus you got, maybe 6 or 7 super seniors that would have been gone that are coming back for that and still on scholarship.
So there could be 12 or 13 difference.
Yeah, I would think.
Okay, help us out there. We're bringing up a couple of questions that we know. That's the beauty of having Facebook Live. We get a lot of comments there. Like to hear you as well. Call in 256-234-6221. Our phone lines are always open on this program. We know that you're watching, a lot of you on television outlets, but it's a call-in radio show broadcasted on television as well as all the social media outlets out there. So call in, be a part of the program.
Yeah. Add in to the recruiting class too. How many we bringing in? 20, 22?
Yep.
So we might not be quite as short as we think we are. But
How many spots do we have? 8 or 10? Still a lot to close.
Yeah.
In a short period of time. If my date's right.
I think
if my
that's-
date's wrong, then
I think
it
you're-
won't be the first time that I spout something out on the airwaves that don't really.
I think you're about right.
I think I am.
You're
too.
usually pretty.
Well, I've got
sharp
some
about
good
that.
water cooler conversations that we have at work. I've got.
I saw the one you posted the other day.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like, and I run into that all the time. People ask me, they normally in an average off season, you come across, and it's always, what do you think about Auburn? Well, I think we got to do that. This year, the vast majority of people that I run into say, what do you think about this year? There's not a lot of optimism for this Auburn Tiger team.
All right, I bounce around. I feel like I turn on every youth league field light or basketball gymnasium in the Lake Martin region, so I see a lot of people at ball games throughout the week, and that's where I end up in a lot of these conversations is people that I don't necessarily know personally will come up and say, well, I watched you and Andy yesterday, and, buddy, you don't have a whole lot of faith in this recruiting class, do you? And I was, well, and then I'll go into it. And we really, I truly do appreciate those people that come up and want to have a conversation because it makes us feel good that people are actually watching and listening out there. So keep doing that. More times than not, I'm in a mood where I'd love to talk Auburn athletics over some of the other things that I got going on throughout the day. But, Andy, here's the sense that I got. There were the Auburn, I call them orange and blue colored glasses fanatics, my father being a card-toting member of that group, who will get really upset with us when you allow me to get on air and try to at least throw some darts at what's going on with our football program. Okay. And I can take that. You know I can be pessimistic at times. But here was the takeaway after the spring game. Ooh, this may really be a pretty tough year. If TJ Finley gives this people, I'm not the one saying this. TJ Finley's our starting quarterback. Whew, watch out. So what are your thoughts out there? What were your thoughts following spring? What are your water cooler talk? That was my Monday morning conversation. I think that I probably sent you was, boy, we better get started. We don't have long to close in some key pieces, and I'm sure we've hit the ground running this week.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, this was that, they're going to visit 230 high schools in 12 days.
Yep.
Across the state of Alabama. This is the one everybody was so upset about. Auburn has not, or Brian Harsin had not met Mark Freeman. That was the headliner, but of course it expanded to all the really good high schools that are putting out all this talent in this state. Well, they're going to try to change that.
Well, here's
Auburn
what
introducing themselves to the.
Here's what this tells me, Andy.
Yeah.
Is the writing is on the wall when you determine you're going to go with it in a 12-day period to see 230 high schools. You know that you should have done this a lot earlier. Am I off basis of saying that?
I think somebody lit a fire now.
Yes.
Whether that's it, is there such a thing as too late?
No, there's not too late. There's not too late. If Auburn wins 7 or 8 ball games this year and finishes 5 to 10 in recruiting, I'm way on board. Because I want to buy into Brian Harsin. I like what he represents. I like what he talks. I like the culture. I like the idea of having a coach that's willing to get out there and run stairs and do all those things. It's all what I want to buy into.
Yeah.
But I can't buy into 19th ranked recruiting class with a 6 and 7 mark. I can buy into 7 or 8 wins with a 6th ranked recruiting class, even though
in year 2.
Even though that's 4th in the SEC West to finish 6th, but still you gotta start making up ground on the recruiting front, and hopefully we are. I mean, all signs point to there's a lot of momentum going there.
Finley's like watching the second coming of Jeremy Johnson.
It is. It's a good, and unfortunately, I was probably one of the top fans of Jeremy Johnson when he was in high school at Carver. I was one of the top fans when he got mop-up duty, and every game we've got this package put in place for Jeremy Johnson for this week. And then he has the Arkansas outing where he couldn't have thrown the football better than he did that day. And you're like, oh, my, this is going to be special.
I remember you and I having a conversation. This is when he committed. I mean, literally, I remember it like it was yesterday. And I remember saying, what's the chance? I mean, because we've had some guys bust.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, what's the chances, do you think, that he's a bust? I mean, that he doesn't work out? And you said, like 10%. And you were, I mean, and not to throw darts at you.
Yeah, oh, you're right.
Everybody said that. I said that. You said that. Everybody that looked at it said that. And then 2 games into it, I mean, opening, he takes over against Louisville. He throws 3 picks. And it didn't. And it by what was that, week 2 or 3?
We knew.
Against Jacksonville State.
Oh, we knew then.
We knew. It was over.
And
it took that quick.
I hope that we're wrong about TJ Finley. But every imps of me that watches him out there makes me think the same. That I hope it gets better, but how much better can it possibly get with the athletic ability that he has and the immobility that he has?
Yeah. I think we got a phone call. Maybe we can get it in real quick.
Caller, you on the Auburn Blitz.
Yes, good evening, guys. War Eagle.
War Eagle, glad to have you, Harold.
Glad to have you, listen to you guys. But this is about my second or third time I've called in, and I just kind of think sometimes you guys are a little bit too hard on Coach Harsons. I know that he's been through a lot, trying to get the team back together after all we've been through, and I think there are a lot of positives that we can look at. But this 6-7 season, or 6-6 season, I really don't believe in it. I think that our program will do a better job than we have been, and we just gotta, rally around them. I know we gotta call what we see. It is what it is. But I think Coach Harsons is a great coach, and I think he's gonna turn everything around. But it just seems like a lot of people, and you guys too, sometimes seems like you're giving him a hard time. So. And I just don't agree with that. But War Eagle anyway, and I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you so much, Harold. We're up against a break. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Absolutely. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
It's Truck Month at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Take your pick of the brand new Chevrolet Silverado Trail buses. The full-size pickups equipped for off-roading adventures. They're ready to roll. Now at Glenn Smith Chevrolet and discounted up to $5,000 off while they last. And you can get 0% financing on many new Chevrolet cars, trucks, and SUVs.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you for about 45 more minutes left in today's show, brought to you each and every day by Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, saving people thousands of dollars each and every year on their home mortgage. Give them a call today, 256-397-0248, 256-397-0248. Randy, you're too hard on them. You're just too hard on them.
That sounds like my father. A phone call directly after I go off of one of the programs. And no, Harold, I appreciate the phone call, and I think you make a good point. Here's kind of where I've consoled myself for the upcoming year. Could we shock all of us? Maybe. I'm not counting on that.
It doesn't feel like a shock kind of.
No, I don't think there's a shock year in our future. But
it never feels like the shock, does it?
Well,
That's
it doesn't.
Why it's a shock.
But okay, but I have consoled myself that if Auburn can finish with 7 or 8 wins, and I'm saying even 7 and 6 on the season, and play hard and have some signs and some players pointing to a future that looks bright, especially at the quarterback position for one of these guys, would really help. I'm all in for hanging in there a few years. You know, I think that this year, and here's the key, Harold, that I think is good for Auburn in recruiting. State of Alabama's never been stronger than they're going to be this year. The recruiting analysts that I've talked to think that Auburn or the state of Alabama could end up with 25 to 30 4 and 5 stars just in this state alone. And let's just do the math here. Let's say Alabama goes out for a big recruiting cycle in the state of Alabama and signs 7 to 10 players in the state. I think that would be a humongous number. If Alabama took half of their recruits from the state of Alabama, be a massive number in comparison to what they've done in years past. Well, that still leaves, 15 to 20 4 and 5 stars here in just the state of Alabama. And I do like these Auburn guys that we have out there recruiting. And I do think Brian Harsin is starting to buy into, we got to do this, and I know how to do it, and I know how to sell this thing, and I'm getting a good sense for that. So it's a heck of a good year to need to close, but I think Auburn needs to take a recruiting class ranking from 19 down to 7 to 10.
Yeah.
Because that's who we've been. Gus Malzahn was that. And I feel like we're that. And I feel like we've got that much to sell at Auburn. So if we go 7 and 6 and finish 7th in recruiting, heck, I'm all in. Because I think he will get this thing turned around.
I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Harold, if I'm right in saying that he called in before and said he did not believe T.J. Finley was the answer.
Yeah.
So if T.J. Finley is if named starting quarterback, I wonder if that would, if even Harold would be worried about.
Well, I think what Harold's saying, which I agree, is just tap the brakes a bit.
Yeah.
Give him his time.
Well, I'm trying to be the optimist here.
Well,
and pump you guys up, but
I'm not like pumped for this year.
I know.
I'm not sugarcoating that.
Yeah.
But I am setting the ground rules where you can attack me And everyone else can attack me if I start throwing darts at him when we finish 7-6. I'm not going to do that.
Let's take another.
I am if we finish 20th in recruiting. Caller, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Guys, how y'all doing today?
We're good. Glad to have you, Terry.
Good to talk to y'all as always. Guys, I get a little out of sorts when people say don't be too critical of Brian Harsin. I think Brian Harsin has brought his criticism on himself. When you got the best running back in the SEC, you throw the ball on 4th down against South Carolina. You cannot move the ball. You have your cross-state rival on the ropes, and you can't close the deal. You blow a 28-point lead at home to a team that's inferior to you. So I think he's done plenty to bring it on himself. So let's just kind of put that aside. That don't be hard on him. I've been as hard on him as anybody, and I think we all know that. But at the same time, you also to go with that, Andy and Randy, you got recruits and recruits' parents that they're talking about. Brian Harsin's been non-existent, and I kind of see your point about waiting too late. It may be too late for this year. It may be. This is hopefully next year's a better. You know, quite frankly, I think if he throws up a 6 or 7 win season, he could. Hey, he's not going to get a chance to recruit next year. So I think there's too many people that want him out. Now, I do believe that the changes in the offensive and defensive coordinator, it will be a plus, because I do think that the coordinators last year, Bobo and Mason, were forced on him a little bit by that good old boy network that exists down there. They truly do. So I'm with them on that, with people on that. But he's done plenty to bring it on himself. By a bad first year, by getting to a 6-2 start and getting people's hopes up, and then run into a brick wall.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's nobody's. I mean, you can't shuffle the blame on anybody when you start like that and finish like Auburn did. And I don't know what happened. We've tried to figure it out. I'm not sure about at halftime Mississippi State. But the entire season turned on a dime, and you cannot allow that to happen against a Mississippi State like that at home. You cannot go on the right. I keep saying, my goodness, South Carolina. You look at that game on the schedule every year, and you say, well, I mean, obviously that's a guaranteed win, and we've lost twice to a bad South Carolina team. That's who Auburn is right now. That's reality.
Now, well, they're starting to become everybody's homecoming opponent. Yeah, that's what fears me the most. And I agree with Randy there. If T.J. Finley's starting quarterback, then Brian Harsin better start packing his bags now, because T.J. Finley, he's had his chance. Everybody brings up the Jason Campbell thing, the phenomenal, senior year he had, which was great, but people forget about the incredible talent that was around him that year. And I even said to a group of people, for Auburn to have a great year, the one guy's got to step up to Jason Campbell, and he did. Because you knew what Carnell Williams could do. You knew what Ronnie Brown could do. So there was no doubt in our minds there, but you had to use some kind of logic. And pardon me for using logic. I know it's 2022, but people better start realizing the game of football nowadays is played on offense, not defense. So you can be in love with that defense all you want, but the game is played on offense, because that's what gets on ESPN all night at nighttime.
That's for sure. Gary, we got to go. We got to take a break.
Take care, guys. Take care, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, Terry.
You too. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after these messages.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new, convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you for just about 30 more minutes left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us, brought to you each and every day by Big Fish Real Estate. For all your real estate needs here in the Lake Martin area as well as down there on the coast, give them a call today, 551-BIG-FISH, or look them up, bigfishlakemartin.com. Ty was talking about some basketball recruiting. Yeah, the big-time Tennessee freshman from last year that entered the transfer portal, visiting Auburn this week. The kid from Morehouse State, the senior that played, I think he was second to Walker Kessler in blocks, visited Auburn as well. So Bruce Pearl doing some good work trying to bring in some replacements as they're losing, of course, Walker Kessler and Jabari Smith. And I think we got another phone call.
Luke, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Good, Luke. Glad to have you, buddy.
Just wanted to exacerbate the point about you're talking about the state of Alabama this year and how good it is. My buddy Jimmy Stein, who writes for On3, they just came out with their brand new top 300 players in the country. 12 of them are from the state of Alabama. Those are California, Florida, Texas, Georgia type numbers. I mean, that just doesn't happen very often. I mean, this state's always pretty criminally underrated when it comes to talent, but this year, I mean, it's just absolutely stacked. But the one thing I wanted to point out, you were talking about 25 to 35/4-star guys, and that's true. But one thing I'm noticing, the problem when you have that many good players, it attracts a lot of other teams too. And all you have to do is look at where some of these guys are projected to go. A.J. Harris is the second best player in the state. Right now he's projected to go to Florida. If it's not Florida, a lot of people think he'll end up at Georgia. Arkansas already has a commitment from one of the top 25 players in the state. Tennessee is leading for Sylvester Smith, who's the 13th best player in the state. Tamarian Parker is crystal balled to go to Georgia. Tony Mitchell out of Thompson, the best safety prospect maybe in the country, he is certainly got his eyes on Florida and Texas A&M. A lot of people think he's a lock to Alabama, but I don't think it's true. This year is so good that it's going to bring a lot more competition too. So it's not like these guys are all a lock to sign with Alabama or Auburn. I mean, I think this year is going to be a very tough pull to get any of these guys just about that aren't dyed-in-the-wool fans of one of those home state teams.
Luke, how many of those 25 to 30 do you think Alabama would be interested in getting this year? I mean, just in your opinion.
Just top of my head, I mean, Tony Mitchell, obviously. I think they would like to have A.J. Harris, but I think he's going to end up going out of state. I really do. James Smith, of course, out of Montgomery. He's incredible. They've already got a commitment from Jaleel Hurley. Quay Russell, who's a James Smith teammate at Carver. He's really, really good. I think it'll come down to Alabama or Georgia for him. Christopher Vizina, a guy I would have loved for Alabama to have, the quarterback out of Briarwood, who I think is fantastic. He's already committed to Clemson, and I think he'll honor that, even though he grew up in an Alabama household. Then I know they're after Carmelo English, the wide receiver out of Central Phoenix City. Hunter Osborne is a guy out of Hewitt-Trussville who I know Alabama would take. But, if you go down the top 30, I bet Alabama, they've already gotten Yanzi Pierre out of Eufaula, who's in the, top 17, 18 players in the state. I bet you Alabama would take 10 to 12 of them, easily. And I feel like they have a good shot at getting that many. I really do. But it's going to be tough to get some of these other guys. They're not locks to stay in state at all.
Going to be interesting. My point that I was trying to make is it's a good year. If you've got that many in your backyard to try to shore up some guys, and I think Auburn's hit the ground running this week. And is it a little late? Maybe. Who knows? But they've got some good guys out there recruiting right now, and there's a lot to sell at Auburn. If we can get some positive momentum, times have proven that we can close deals late in the recruiting process if we can have some momentum going in a positive direction. And that's what all us Auburn fans are hoping for, Luke.
Well, Randy, one other thing is I don't think we know exactly how much the recruiting game has changed because of NIL just yet. It used to be, it changed. If you remember, when I first started following recruiting, it was about playing time. Like, okay, let me look at your depth chart and let me see playing time. Well, then that got turned on its ear a little bit because I think players started to realize, I would like playing time, but if I'm out there, if I'm a running back and I'm the only running back they have and I'm getting, 25 carries a game and I'm getting beat up before I make it to the NFL, that doesn't help me. Or if I'm an offensive lineman and I have to go out there before I'm not ready and people can see my weaknesses really early going into the draft, that doesn't help me. So I think that all of a sudden people are like, okay, I'm going to go, and even if I have to sit on the bench and learn a little bit, hey, I can learn from the best and I can learn in practice going up against 5 stars. I mean, that philosophy changed. Well, now I think it's going to change again because the NIL is so important that people are going to be like, forget playing time, forget championships. How much money can I make? And I think that's going to change the game.
Nick Saban says it's unsustainable, the NIL and the way the transfer portal is working. I agree, but what needs to be, what has to be done, what will be done?
Well, Randy, and here's the thing. I really believe this. Nick Saban cares about college football. I mean, he wants to be the best at it. He wants to have the best team. All that stuff's true. At the same time, when you look at some of the things he said, like the transfer portal, like the NIL, he's like, hey, this isn't going to be good for everybody else. It's going to be fine for him. I mean, Nick Saban's going to find a way. But it's not going to be good for a lot of these other places. All you have to do is look at Georgia Tech and Louisville or losing guys to places like Alabama. It's not the five-stars aren't leaving that are backups to go somewhere else. The great players on other teams are coming to the even better teams. And in terms of NIL being unsustainable, he's absolutely correct. And it's one of those things where it just can't keep going this way. And if it were sustainable even, it would only be sustainable for the top 7 to 10 teams. And then all of a sudden, the talent gap, which is already pretty significant, is much, much worse. Instead of growing organically, it's growing exponentially very, very quickly. And I think that's going to make the game will suffer a little bit because of that. So, he's got a great point. I don't know how to curtail it now because the NCAA has messed this up so badly that it's going to be tough to get the toothpaste back in the tube.
Thanks, Luke. We appreciate the phone call, buddy.
We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after these messages.
Lake Martin has a new car buying experience. It's the TR Group of Alex City on Cherokee Road. The TR Group has up to 100 late model vehicles to choose from and will not be beat on price, selection, or financing. With the TR Group, your selection and quality is easy and your good credit is rewarded. But we offer guaranteed financing on our inventory because your future is more important than your past. The TR Group, Lake Martin's new standard in auto sales. Located at 814 Cherokee Road, Alex City, USA.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Whether you prefer bricks, clicks, or taps, there's one place built around all your needs. For whatever it is you want to do. Even if your needs change, we'll be right there with you, making it all possible. Because you never know when a new addition will come along. So walk in, log on, or tap away. Either way, Valley's built to help you do you. Wherever life takes you, we'll be right there with you.
Hey guys, this is Nate Paz with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs. Or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
The water level may be down, but that doesn't mean it's not a great time to consider selling your lake home, acreage, or condo, as it's worth more money now than ever before, as there are far more buyers than there are homes available. Ask yourself, how much money am I leaving on the table, and why am I trying to do this alone when I can call Century 21 Lake Area Realty and get more for my property than what it's worth and let them do all the work?
Hi, I'm Rhonda Gaskin, Century 21 Lake Area Realty. We're ready to jump in and do the work for you.
Call 256-825-4800. Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River Region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, 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 Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you for just a couple more segments left in today's show. Thank you so much for being with us today. We're brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center. They got 10 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do-It Center today. You'll be glad that you did. Brett and I were talking a couple of weeks ago, or maybe this was just last week. Crystal balls are funny. I mean, a couple of years ago when it was Kool-Aid McKinstry and you had this, really good looking list of players, and at the beginning they were all kind of leaning toward Auburn. And several people had put in crystal ball picks for them, but then we didn't end up with any of them. And so now maybe we're not listed for the crystal balls for any of them. Maybe it'll work out the other way. Where somewhere Auburn will get them at the last second. I don't know.
I think it will work out the other way if Auburn comes out and wins 8-9 ball games. Look good doing it. Tank Bigsby has 1,500 yards rushing.
That's the best way to recruit, is to win.
Yeah, the best way to recruit is to win. The best way also to recruit is to show a system that you can actually recruit to. Here's the issue with Auburn's first year under Brian Harsin. Not up here just to throw darts, but it's reality. He chose the coordinators, and neither one of them stuck. So I'm sure he's got an idea of a system that he wants to put in place, but when you can't, even after 1 year, keep either of your coordinators, you can't sell much because you got a new system coming in and a new set of values coming in. And so that happens a lot for programs that are kind of set in place, and you have coordinators come in and they don't seem to miss a beat. But for new ones like ours, where especially, let's say, offensive line, because that was the one spot that any recruiting coordinator and NFL scout said toward Auburn, that if you go to Auburn to play offensive line, you're just not getting yourself prepared for the NFL.
Right.
You can say, well, I don't believe that. Well, enough believed it that we couldn't recruit by the end of his tenure on the offensive front, especially at the tackle position. So you've got to sell a system, I think, as well, and hopefully in year two we start getting a sense of what that will be under Brian Harsin, because right now I really am not positive what it is.
Jamie says NIL may not work in the long run because these players that come in on it may not work out for many reasons. As what happens to players? Some of you have mentioned from the past, so the money will likely come to a finish as years go by. Do you think this will self-correct itself?
To a certain extent, but not to the best. I think the money only goes up to those that make the program-changing plays for a place like Auburn. What's the value of a quarterback to a place like Auburn? And I'm not talking about just an average quarterback. I'm talking about a Cam Newton-type quarterback. Yeah. What's that value? And what are you willing to pay? We don't know what that is.
Well, I mean, you look at it now and you'd say, right now it's what? I mean, we're talking about $1 million guys coming in, and you say, well, I mean, could you ever see a player come in and making $5 million? Well, $10 million. There is no limit. I mean, you remember you have to remind yourself when Nick Saban signed at Alabama, when people said $4 million and everything, you're going to pay a coach $4 million. That's insane. They're making double that now.
They're making double, and we have no earthly idea what the ceiling is.
There is no ceiling.
Because if if Nick Saban wanted to set the ceiling right now, what would Alabama and Texas have gone for a couple of years ago? In competition with one another, where Nick Saban said, I may want to go build another program. I think I've got 6 or 8 more years left in me, and it may be fun to go build another program and let somebody else take over this Maserati that I've built here.
10, 15?
No, I think it's I don't know, 15 to 20.
Yeah.
I think is probably the number. I mean, because coaches are already knocking on 10.
Are we going to see a college football player come in before he even plays a down in college football, making $10 million?
Arch Manning would be – I'd like to see where the ceiling is set with him. I mean, you can say that his family doesn't need the money. The family doesn't need the money doesn't mean anything. Here's also something. His family knows how to play the game. Don't think they won't figure out what the value is. They'll be able to play it better than any of us or anybody else because they played it for so long through so many different people. So I think we will set a standard with wherever Arch Manning ends up. And you just watch Deion Sanders at a place like Jackson State and his son getting well over $1 million in NIL. It's not necessarily just the top programs. It's also how sellable are you through social media? How many eyes are on you? I mean, there's many eyes on Deion Sanders as there is many SEC coaches. He's quoted and shown on social media probably more than, I'd say, 80% of the SEC coaches. He's always on there. He's always got a statement. So my point is there's value in that.
So when does it become how many Twitter followers you have becomes as important as your 40 times?
Already is.
It already is.
It is when you're trying to compare to apples. Like, okay, this guy's a tremendous quarterback and this one's a tremendous quarterback. How am I going to weigh the difference in the two? Well, if one of them's got 1 million Instagram followers and the other one doesn't even keep an account, I mean from a value standpoint. I'm not talking about play on the field. I'm saying if Lee Marketing Group wanted to sponsor one or the other. My gosh, are you kidding? What kind of answer is that? Wouldn't take very many analytics to throw at you to see that I'd need to be with the guy that's out there selling himself and my product better than the others. So I think it all plays into it.
It's a brave new world or a crazy new world, however you want to look at it for sure. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with one final segment of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz final segment on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Ty says he thinks Deion Sanders will be at Florida State within the next couple of years.
Would not be shocked, and it would be the best move Florida State's made in a long time.
I think that's probably true.
I mean, I think he could end up in an SEC program if one of us had a chance. Again, I'd take him in a heartbeat. I think he can sell it. I think he can coach it. I like what he stands for when he's in front of a mic. So I think he can play the NIL game. He can get you advertising and marketing that you need, all those things. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to get a chance. I mean, he's doing – if he can get kids to come to
Jackson State,
he can get them to come to –
You think he can't sell Auburn?
Yeah.
Or a place like us, I'm saying. Yeah.
You think he'd rather be in the SEC or Florida State?
No, I don't know.
He had his druthers.
It depends on how passionate he is about his alma mater and the school he played for. You can't compare the two. I mean, if you want big boy football, you come to the SEC.
It's an easier road in Florida State.
It's a much easier road, but I don't sense that he would be one to take the easy route. I think he's one of those guys that thinks he's the best, and it's part of the reason that he was the best of our generation and maybe any generation when it came to secondary play. And guys like that with that big an ego that's worked out well for him probably want to take on the best when given the opportunity. So I'm making a sales pitch to him if I were the one trying to hire him.
Yeah. He could play the game. He's adept at playing the game that is today's college football for sure. April the 19th, today, 1897, the first ever Boston Marathon, the world's oldest marathon, won by John J. McDermott. You remember that one?
Yep.
1960, baseball uniforms began displaying players' names on the back. You like the names or no? You remember the Auburn? We're old enough to remember when Auburn did not have names on the back. Is there something about that you long, or it means nothing?
Means nothing.
Means nothing.
To me, it doesn't.
Okay.
I don't know.
It was all about, it's about the name on the front.
About the name on the front and all those. As we send them into social media class to teach them how we are in desperate need of you selling the program and yourself.
If you're longing for days when there were no names on the jerseys, you hate college football.
You live in some world that's not returning, by the way.
1991, Evander Holyfield defeats George Foreman in 12 rounds to win the heavyweight title. I remember that fight. Remember it well. It was like a 45-year-old George Foreman. Took him to the limit. It's actually a good fight. Happy birthday today, Jack Pardee, Hall of Fame linebacker in college football, head coach of the Houston Cougars, and also head coach of the Houston Oilers. I remember they beat SMU when SMU, of course, was a death penalty. Came back and they were terrible. They beat them 95-10, and I remember, it was kind of a ugly game. But I remember Jerry Glanville when he went to the NFL. Jerry Glanville was at Atlanta, and they beat the Oilers pretty bad. And in the press conference, he said that was for SMU.
Here's the thing I remember about the SMU death penalty, and I think about it sometimes. When you public speak and you get so nervous that, and I don't really get that nervous anymore, but I have in the past, even going on TV or radio when I first got started, where I'd be a little bit nervous. And I have thought about it in public speaking. Do you remember the NCAA representative?
He just faded.
He passed dead out.
He did.
Right? And he had to give the death penalty to their board and I guess to the school. And while doing it and in front of the camera, he just passed out cold.
He did.
So I have thought about it. I said, am I nervous enough to pass out cold like the guy that gave the news to SMU? So
he looked like he'd seen a ghost.
He did.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Let's see. Dick Sargent,
Don't know that
second Darren on Bewitched. Jane Mansfield.
Beauty. Yeah. I think most of World War II had her planted on
either her or Marilyn Monroe, one or the other. Take your pick. I actually think she was probably better looking than Marilyn Monroe.
I agree.
Dudley Moore. He
Funny
played
guy.
it drunk, yeah.
Played it great.
And he was, I think he was an alcoholic.
Arthur.
Yeah, there you go. Eleanor Donahue. She Father Knows Best, the oldest daughter. She was also Ellie in Andy Griffith.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Tim Curry. No? Ever seen the movie Clue?
Yeah.
He's the butler.
Okay.
Okay. Frank Viola.
Remember him well.
Cy Young in '88.
Great pitcher.
Yeah.
For
Mets.
a 10 or 12 year period.
Was with the Twins for a while.
Twins was where I remember him. Big lefty.
Yeah.
Ugly fellow.
I think he played on when he on the '86 Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Al Unser Jr., great West Coast driver.
I don't know if he was on the '86 Mets.
No.
Yeah, I think he was a Twin at that time too.
Maybe he was late. He was in the Mets.
I think you're
late.
thinking of Sid Fernandez.
I'm not.
Big Sid. I think that's who you're thinking of.
That's who I'm thinking about. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he ended up with the Mets, maybe in the late '80s. But Suge Knight.
He in jail.
He may be. I don't know. Death Row Records.
Yeah.
I think, right? Ashley Judd. I
Where
used
is
to
she?
really like her, but she's a wacko.
She's a wacko, and does she still attend Kentucky basketball games? Like
I have not seen
every
her
home game. I haven't either. She may not look good enough for them to throw on the camera.
This may be true. Kate Hudson, daughter of Goldie Hawn. Hayden Christensen, he's the young Darth Vader. Troy Polamalu, Joe Mauer, Candace Parker, she's rather fetching as well. Great basketball player, too. And Maria Sharapova.
You had some beauties on the list
All
today.
right, how about that? Good day for beauties. He's Randy Lee. I'm Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.